I was hesitant about going to film school the first time because I didn't want to pay out of pocket for anything. So I didn't want to have to owe money, but like it was going to happen eventually because wherever I transferred to after Valencia, I was going to have to pay for something because my financial aid was only so much.
So much, yeah. That's dang.
Yeah.
And how long did it take to do the film school?
It was
like
a
a
year.
That was your own program.
Yeah.
Your own program. Yeah, and see that's like you just like it's fast track because you dodge all the prerequisites.
Yeah.
You go right into like actually what you want to learn.
Exactly.
And then from film school, what did you do afterwards? Like when did you finish the film school? How long ago was this?
It'll be 3 years in January.
3 years in January.
Yeah.
And it was like what would be covered? Like was it just like actually, I don't know, directing or
Like we covered different aspects of the filmmaking process.
Yeah.
Like the thing that always held me back was the fact that like writing, and even though I'm a creative person, I was like, dude, I do not want to have to sit down and write a script for X amount of hours.
The only thing you would probably like about the writing process is being done with it.
Exactly. That's what I thought. And then like our first project was like you got to write a script for a short play. I think it had to be 2 or 3 pages. I ended up writing a 5-page one and getting points taken off because it was too long.
Too long?
And I was like,
what?
because like once I got started, like the ideas just kept coming. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep going with this, you know. And cause I've always had ideas. I just never put them on paper because I was like, I don't want to do that. But now after that, it was easy. And like I have scripts that I've been working on, but I just haven't touched them in a while because I don't have my tablet anymore. But yeah, so we covered writing, like how to use a camera, and we did projects where we shot a music video, we shot a testimonial, we shot a documentary, and we shot a short film. I directed the short film. The short film will never see the light of day.
Do you not want it to see the light of day?
No.
Oh, you don't?
It is sitting on my hard drive, and I wouldn't even look back at it, to be honest with you.
Sounds like, hey, dude, it sounds like a good memory lane, though. Like,
Yeah.
just think, like 20 years from now, if you still have it, it'll be like a good item to look back on as far as like, look, that's where I was.
Yeah.
That's where my work was. That's where.
But one of the cool things about film school, and like doing all those projects, and like working with the class was, I mean, I made some friendships, and like I feel like I met a couple of people that I have chemistry with, cause like there's a girl that I went to school with, and like we did like a mini project for like a Snickers commercial.
Okay.
That our teacher gave us, and like she was the DP and I was the director, and like when we worked together, I was like, wow, I think I like working with her. I like her what she brings to the table, like her vision, like because I feel like she can almost do things that I can't, or like she can bring things to the table that like I don't have, or you know, like we just the balance as well. And like every time I've always said, like when I start working on my own stuff, I'm definitely gonna give her a call. I'm like, dude, you need to come work with me. Like this is what I have. I need you. Cause I like what she did. Like she was good at that.
Yeah.
Me, like I like editing, but I hate editing at the same time. Like I will never do a music video because I hate editing it. Like I don't mind the editing process. Like I can do most of it. Like there are certain things like I suck at when it comes to editing. It's like behind the camera. Like I'm not great with like certain things behind the camera. But like I know it's a part of being a director that you have to work on. That's why like I want to start with short films, and I want to start my own production company so I can do it all myself. And it'll be like a trial by fire type thing. Like I'll get better as I go along. Like the more projects I take on. So, you know, I actually have a group me account. Like there's a group of people that like they work on scripts and stuff together. Like I just haven't had the time to go meet up with these people. But like did I say group me? I meant to say meet up.
Okay, because I was like, I've never heard of group me. Oh, I know. Okay, I said we said okay.
We have group me.
Yeah.
I've never heard of group me.
You said it to me, and I was like, I don't know what that is, because the only group me I know is like what we use for like chat or whatever.
Yeah, but I meant to say meet up. Yeah, meet up. Yeah.
Meetups.
Wow.
Yeah, so you meet up and you just kind of brainstorm, and you're basically with other people that are doing the similar thing. Like
I want to do that, but just haven't had time. But you know, I'm trying to find time now. I feel like I have more time in my schedule.
Yeah.
Because I made some changes recently, so you know, I'm looking forward to see how things go in the next couple months.
Yeah, man, it's an exciting time for all of us.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time just to live, just because there's opportunities everywhere. Like there's a lot of people out there that might view the world as like there's not much opportunity. There's grim and dim, depending on if they consume their mind with news or whatever. But like, dude, safest time to ever live.
Yeah.
technology has opened the door to endless amount of opportunity we can pursue. Like 20 years ago, you wouldn't have that meetup group where you could just like find easily.
Yeah. You'd have to like take out ads in the newspaper, like post staple papers around town with your number hanging off.
And really, especially if you weren't like belong to some like film club or film society or something on campus with education, you'd probably be even harder to find a group of people like that.
Yeah.
So, it's an exciting time to live.
Yeah.
Even in sports is interesting, man. Like, we're thinking more and more as far as like what's going to be the future of like the NFL.
Hopefully there is a future. Like I've been hearing people talk about like how it might not be around another 15, 20 years. Just kids.
I think it's more and more talked about.
The sign up rate is going down, and like that's one of the reasons why like it's hard to find good offensive linemen nowadays, is because there aren't many kids getting into football, and then the kids that get into football, many of them aren't playing offensive linemen, because like it's going
to change the whole dynamics in the next couple of years, probably, of like how playbooks are ran.
Yeah, probably, if the sport is still around. Hopefully it's still around, 'cause like all these lawsuits and everything and all the stuff you hear, like I get nervous. Like I love football. I feel like football is the greatest like sport like ever. I feel like it's the ultimate team sport. And like football, for me personally, taught me how to be a man. Like, cause I had my coach as a role model, and he taught us things that like stuck with me that I've carried ever since.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like getting like, and people just see the negative aspect of it, so they don't want to put their kids in it. I mean, I'd let my kids play football. I mean, I know Hall of Famers that, despite everything that's coming out, like despite how some of their careers have ended, they say like they wouldn't change a thing. Like if you gave them opportunity, like if they could still play the game, then they would. So.
Yeah, there's certainly lessons in the game of football that you can't really replicate in other sports or in other activities.
And one of the common misconceptions about football is that it's easy to get hurt. Like I've told women this who have kids that are nervous about putting their sons in football, and I tell them like, you only get hurt when you hesitate in football. That's why like in practice, like coaches will say if it's a half speed drill, like go half speed, because you don't want somebody going full speed while someone else is going half speed and then they get hurt. Or he says like if it's a play that we're going live and we're in full pass, he says game speed, so you'll go full speed and like run it like you're in an actual game. But but you're also in the same team, so you're not trying to kill each other.
Right.
And like if there's somebody that gets in the backfield, he's the quarterback, he knows not to hit him below the waist. So there's certain. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You only get hurt when you hesitate. Like if your running back is coming through a hole and like he slows down, and the defender hits him, of course he's going to be more likely to get hurt because he's hesitating. But if he just runs through full speed, he's not really thinking about it, so he's going full speed, so his body can't really, because you get hurt more when you tense up than like if you're relaxed.
Yeah, dude, it's like, because you kept saying, like when you're describing this, in my head I was like, you think of people, a drunk driver hits a person and essentially kills them. Yeah. But the drunk driver lives because they're in a relaxed state, their body's relaxed. Yeah. Or the person that's not coming, their body tenses up. So you have those two differing, one person going full speed, the other person not going full speed as far as their body. So it's like similar to that aspect where injury will exist and such.
Yeah. Now, with all that said, you can still get hurt going full speed, but I mean, like Inky Johnson said at Summit, like the reason he was able to walk away and like not have any stress about the game of football anymore, and like even though he couldn't play it anymore, because he knew like on the play that he got hurt, he gave it his all. Because if he didn't, then he'd have regrets. And he has no regrets because he gave it his all. So you can still get hurt going full speed, but I mean, and from what I've seen, like you're less likely. It's when you hesitate, or like if you get like tripped up a little bit, and then someone comes full speed, then that's when you can get messed up. Yeah.
So it's instilling that value of giving everything you got on every single play, which represents to giving everything you got every second of life. In a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of football players wouldn't get that deep with it, but yeah.
Hey, there's some deep football. What's like a deep? Who's like been a known like a deep, perspective football player, like
probably
professionally?
Ray Lewis, I guess. I don't know.
Ray Lewis is like, dude. I always picture like Ray Lewis is like one of the top like football leaders. Like if I was like on a defense team, I'd be like, yo, Ray Lewis, you got to be my leader, man. Like I would.
Yeah, he can get it. He definitely can get the defense fired up. And like he was.
what are your I don't mean to cut you off, man.
Oh, you good.
What are your thoughts with like currently what's going on in the NFL? It's protesting as far as like national anthems and stuff.
I don't have an issue with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope
no,
it doesn't
no, dude,
upset
no.
you or any of your viewers, but I don't have an issue with it at all.
No, dude. First off,
because I understand.
I don't have any opinion on it.
Okay.
Because I don't really know much about it, and no, don't even ever address the viewers. Like,
okay.
We're just having a conversation. Like,
okay.
You can't like. I never like.
I didn't
try
mean to break the fourth wall.
No, dude. No, you can break the fourth wall. I just never. I'm for me, like how I operate these things. I don't want really other. Like my thoughts to be dictated about trying to appeal to viewers or whatever kind of thing. So it's like it's all however you take it, man.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with it at all because I understand why it started, and I know the reason behind it, and I know I know like because it started with Colin Kaepernick. He started taking a knee. And it didn't catch steam until he was doing it for a while, which I mean, it makes no sense to me.
That's interesting. Yeah, you're right. Like you said, I went a little while before like.
Yeah, I think it was maybe like 3 or 4 games, maybe longer. I can't remember the exact time. I know it was going on for a while. And then the first time he did it, he sat down. He was just sitting down. And then he talked to a retired Navy veteran, and the Navy veteran said, the most respectful way you could do it is to take a knee, and that's what he started doing. And what makes this whole thing even crazier to me is like what he talked about the reason he was doing it, and like people are so upset at him that they don't even like pay attention to what the cause was, and because. I read a quote last night from Malcom-X. I read 2 quotes from Malcom-X last night, actually, and I was like, wow, that's so apropos for like now. One of them said, the newspapers will have you hating the people that are being oppressed and loving the people that are doing their oppressing. And the other one said, don't be so blinded by your patriotism that you I can't remember exactly what it was, but so I'm paraphrasing at this point. Mm-hmm. It said, don't be so blinded by your patriotism that you are okay with something being wrong.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, see, I wish people would say this from a bigger stage. I can't remember that now. I'm almost spot on with the first one, but the second quote, I misquoted a little bit. So
the first one again, because it was referring to like newspapers.
Yeah, because that was like the big medium back then.
Yeah, so say it again.
Don't let the newspapers will have you hating the people that are being oppressed and loving the oppressors.
And loving the oppressors, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it totally is.
With this whole situation, it's like I understand everything. So like, and if you have it, like protests are supposed to be uncomfortable. So like, if you're uncomfortable by it, then I mean, maybe you should figure out why they're doing it. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't make you any less American to protest injustice. I feel like that's the most American thing you could do. This country was founded on protests of injustice, on injustices, because like we were getting overtaxed by the Brits, and like they had the tyrannical rule over us, and we didn't want to deal with it anymore. So we decided to break off, and we fought back, and we became a nation of our own. Now. Yeah. Now, fast forward to now, like just because like they're athletes, and just because you're a multi-millionaire doesn't mean you can't feel affected by it. I mean, empathy is a human emotion that like most humans have, unless you're a sociopath.
Right.
But so just because, and you never know how personally affected some of that stuff could be, because just because it wasn't publicized, like you never know what NFL players or what any professional athlete, they could have lost their loved one to senseless act of police brutality. Yeah. And just because that case wasn't publicized, so it's one that does get publicized, they empathize with it because they've been in that situation.
Yeah. No.
So, I don't have an issue with it. I mean, I don't subscribe to the whole stick to sports narrative, because it's like, because I understand like stuff like that. Like I know like because I'm a student of history, so like I pay attention to certain things. Like I understand like where like a lot of that stuff comes from. Like the whole it's veiled. Is because when people say it like on the news or whatever, like when they have their opinions like on these certain leaning news outlets, like it's like veiled racism almost, because it's like, oh, stick to sports. I mean, you should be happy with what you got. Like, don't worry about this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's just I don't understand. Me, like that's why I don't watch the news, because it's depressing, and it's like, and it's like people don't have common sense anymore, because it's like if there's something like wrong is wrong. I don't care who is being done to. Wrong is wrong.
Well, I love that quote about common sense. Right? If you assume people have common sense and you don't have common sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I feel like I heard. Where did we
Yeah,
hear that
I heard it on audio too. I don't remember.
Okay, I've
I
heard that recently.
I heard it
Where
on
did I hear
audio.
that?
I don't remember which one it was, but like I've been dropping that one lately to people.
Yeah.
Like oh, that's